It's December 5th, 2022. It's currently 10:48 in the morning, and I have a doctor's appointment in 42 minutes in Ellsworth, which is off the island, and from home is about a 40-minute drive, and I left home about 10 minutes ago. So hopefully we'll get there fairly soon. Right now, I'm stopped while they're doing some utility work here. So as soon as they let me through, I'll flip the camera around and show you what it looks like here as I'm going through Southwest Harbor right now. Last week we had two big windstorms here with 50 to 60 knot wind gusts. And Southwest Harbor had power knocked out during both storms. We only lost power at home during one of them. So the power company has been out here, repairing things and upgrading things quite a bit lately. And I think this morning, for the first time since the last storm, which was 3 days ago, they finally got power restored to everybody on the island. Which is a reality out here in the winter. There are parts of the island where the grid is quite old, has not been upgraded much over the years, and consequently, whenever there's a big storm, power lines actually just break and people lose power, sometimes for quite a while. So anyway, this is downtown Southwest Harbor today. You can see it's pretty crowded. A couple people walking around. Of course, this time of year, everybody here is local. There will be a bit of an inrush of tourists from Christmas to New Year's, but they will all go away right after the first of the year, and we'll be back to just the local people. So anyway, what I want to do today is just show you bits and pieces of the drive from Southwest Harbor to Ellsworth. As I said, from Southwest Harbor, it's about a half-hour drive. And so it isn't a bad drive, particularly this time of year when there is not a lot of traffic. And we'll notice a few things about the island as we head in. And as you can tell, I'm sort of filling a little time right here because I want to find out how much gas is here at the Shell gas station. This is usually the cheapest station in this area, and regular gas is currently $3.75.9. Now we get up to Somesville, we'll probably see gas for 5 to 7 cents less. So we're just about finished driving through Southwest Harbor, and our next stretch is going to be driving along the east side of Echo Lake and until we get to Somesville. I'll show you a little bit of that when we get up here. Okay, we're out of Southwest Harbor, about a mile out of town now, and we're coming up on the south end of Echo Lake. Right here is the turn to go down to the Echo Lake Beach in Acadia National Park, where during the summer you can go swimming, or at least take the kids down to go swimming. And we've got a few access points to some Acadia National Park trails up here. I don't expect to see too many people on them right now. At 10:54, it is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny, it is a nice day. And I'll just, up here we stay inland just a little bit, like a couple hundred yards from Echo Lake. Except for one little spot where we come right up alongside the lake. And I'll come back when we get there. Right now, as we go up along the east side of Echo Lake, we are between Echo Lake to the west, and here is the closest approach to Echo Lake. Right here, it's a little choppy out there. And to the east of us, about half a mile, is Somes Sound. several roads that go over there from here to the Hall Quarry area. So we're going to be in Somesville in another couple minutes, and right now we're going to pull away from Echo Lake. Okay, we're just coming into Somesville. One of the things that you need to pay attention to as you drive from Southwest Harbor or Tremont off the island is that the speed limit changes quite a lot. It varies depending on time of day from as low as 15 miles an hour in Southwest Harbor in the morning and the afternoon when school kids are coming and going, up to 50 miles an hour. And it changes, 7 or 8 times. Right now we're in Somesville, and the speed limit here is 25. So you got to watch it, because all of the towns except Tremont have police departments, and it's not uncommon to see here in Somesville a Mount Desert police officer waiting for somebody to come through a little fast. And here we are at the end of Somme Sound here. This is the Mill Pond, and that's the public library there. And we will be out of town in just a minute or two. I'll keep recording to show you the entirety of Somesville as we go through, because when we get to the other end of town, we go through a tiny little commercial area, and there is another gas station there, which is usually the cheapest gas on the island, and we'll see what it is today. It is just up here past the Somesville stoplight, which in the winter is one of 2 functioning stoplights that I know of on the island. And here it is, the Somesville stoplight. And we'll be there in just a second. Hopefully by the time we get there, we'll change. And probably not. Now, this light runs all year, so you can figure on probably having to stop here. And right past it is the gas station I was referring to, and there's a convenience store there, and on the other side of the street there is a bank and some other minor commercial stuff. But this is the commercial center of Somesville. Let's see what gas is here today. Oh, it's more than Southwest Harbor, $3.79. And diesel around here has been running about $2 a gallon more than gas. So diesel's been, $5.50, $5.79 lately. So really expensive. Okay, we're out of Somesville, and we're just kind of in the middle of Mount Desert Island now, and we're going to drive across the mid part of the island, and our next commercial area is just up here. It's called Town Hill, and we'll be there in a couple minutes. And as we leave Somesville, the speed limit first goes up to 40 and then 50, and it will stay at 50 for a while. We just entered the town of Bar Harbor, which, if you remember, the island, the entire island, is divided up into 4 towns, and you can be quite a way from the commercial center of a town and be in a town. Like right now, we're probably 7 miles from the main populated part of Bar Harbor, but we are in Bar Harbor. And we'll just go up here a little bit further, and the speed limit is going to drop off in 2 stages. We're going to hit a 35 zone, and right in Metro Town Hill, it drops down to 30 for a couple of 100 yards. And as I said, like Mount Desert, where the village of Somesville is located, the town of Bar Harbor also has a police force, and it's not uncommon to see a Bar Harbor police vehicle So here's our 35-mile-an-hour sign, so we'll slow down. And then you got to watch it just up here a little bit. There is, as I said, a very short 30-mile-per-hour zone as we come up into the village of Town Hill. Here's the sign saying 30 ahead. And this is the commercial center of Town Hill. There's a bank here on the left, and a couple of small shops. And straight ahead, the white building is a little store. And we're going to make a bit of a left turn here. There we go, the Town Hill Market. And we'll continue down the hill here, perhaps another half mile, and we will get to the other main commercial part of Town Hill. Okay, we've gone down the hill, and there is a garden supply hardware store, and then there is the island's lumber yard, Hammond Lumber Company. And the next lumber yard is either in Ellsworth or a bit north of Ellsworth in the village of Hancock. So if you want to buy some lumber here on the island, that's your only option. And we're going to go up here. Speed limit increases to 50 again after being 35. And we will very quickly get up to the other stoplight that runs all year here on the island. And that's right up at the north end of the island, just before we leave Mount Desert Island and go on to the mainland in the town of Trenton. Now, as we approach the stoplight, of course, the speed limit changes again, back down to 40. And we will be here at the stoplight in just a second. And to head into the town, we want to make a left. And of course, I've just missed the light. So come back once the light changes. Well, the light changed and I'm making my left. There are 2 left turn lanes there, but the road very quickly merges down to a single lane, so you have to be aware of that when you drive up here, that you will have merging traffic. And here we go. We are now officially off Mount Desert Island onto the causeway. And this right here is Thompson Island, which is part of Acadia National Park. And once we go across the little island here, we will get to the bridge, which dates back to the middle 1800s, but was a toll bridge until about 1913, I think. And we'll be at the bridge momentarily. You don't even really notice that you're going across the bridge. This is it, but you wouldn't really think you're on a bridge. And now we're on the mainland, and this is the town of Trenton. And once again, the speed limit kind of yo-yos up and down, and it is typically higher in the winter than it is in the summer. Another thing you're going to notice here is that now that we're off the island, there is a lot more business activity. And that's kind of typical. Mount Desert Island, as a tourist destination, doesn't have much commercial activity outside the town centers. So we'll come up here, and we're going to hit several stoplights as we head toward Ellsworth. And we are right now at 11:08, maybe 12 minutes from Ellsworth. And this on the right is the Hancock County Bar Harbor Airport. It does have scheduled service to Boston. So you can fly in here and there are car rental agencies there, so you can fly in and rent a car. As we head toward Ellsworth through this more commercial area. And here's yet another gas station. Let's see what their gas price is. If you pay cash, it's $3.70 and $3.75 if you use credit. So gas seems to be in the $3.75 range for credit purchases here on December 5th, 2022. Well, I just missed another stoplight. I've missed all of them so far. I think that's the fourth one. As we are getting out closer to Ellsworth, after about 5 minutes since we left Mount Desert Island, we are now approaching Ellsworth. Here's the cheapest gas we've seen, $3.67 for regular. It might almost be worth stopping there to fill up, except that I don't need gas. And we may find some less expensive gas when we get into Ellsworth, but it's hard to say. In Ellsworth, many of the gas stations have this two-tier pricing, one price for cash, one price for credit. So you don't want to be tricked into thinking you're going to get really cheap gas and then discover that it's 10 cents a gallon more if you pay with your credit card. So read the signs carefully. Now, there are a lot of businesses along the road here. They sort of come and go. This area is very seasonal, and a lot of the businesses here are open in the summer only for the tourist season and then shut down in the winter. And many of them are here for a year or two, and then they shut down and something else comes in, because it is difficult to make a go of it with a purely summer business, as you might guess. So we're gonna just cruise in here, pass a few more things. Now, Ellsworth is the regional shopping area if you don't want to go to Bangor. There are lots of things here. There are a couple car dealerships. Right here is our Subaru dealer. And if you've driven around in Maine, you know that Subaru seems to be the official Maine state car. So there are a lot of Subaru dealers. And we'll pass another dealer, which is a sort of Dodge, Ram, GMC dealer. And then there's also a Chevrolet dealer in here, as well as a couple of small used car lots. So we're just about into Ellsworth. We have maybe another mile and a half, and then we will be into Ellsworth. It is currently 11:16. And yet a couple more stoplights, and it looks like I will miss at least one of them, and the speed limit has gone down to 35 again. And here we pass through a few more businesses. There's a couple sort of big box stores off to the left, and if this guy, and a couple of other businesses up here. But as I said, a lot of these businesses change. It's not unusual when you don't go to Ellsworth very often. I go 2 or 3 times a year to find that you've got quite a different selection of businesses on your way into town. Now we're in the outskirts of Ellsworth now. We don't have far to go before we are in town proper. Ellsworth has two main parts of town. There is what's called High Street, where a lot of businesses are located. The grocery stores are there, etc. And then there is a little bit further up Main Street where there are more businesses. So, but before we get to High Street, we're going to go through a sort of zigzag thing here, and we are going to pass the Walmart store and the Home Depot, which is the next lumberyard you can go to here in this part of town. And north about 10 miles there is yet another lumberyard called Viking Lumber, but we're not going to go up that way today. And as you can see, lots of stoplights here, and we're probably going to miss most of them. And I have 12 minutes before my doctor's appointment, and depending on stoplights, we're probably 4 minutes from my appointment, assuming I don't miss the turn, which happens to me fairly regularly. Okay, so this is sort of the part of the Ellsworth Business District, and we're going to make a left here at the next stoplight and head down toward High Street. And right here we're on Highway 1 now, which if we had gone to the right, we could have driven all the way up to the Canadian border at Calais. And we just come down a hill, and you can see lots of little businesses. And we're going to make my turn into my doctor's office in just a second. I just have to get the right spot. It's a little hard to find. Not here. It's the next one, I think. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll come back and we'll tour the rest of Ellsworth in just a few minutes. Okay, finished with that. So, just an ophthalmology visit. Fortunately, they did not dilate my eyes this time. So anyway, we're heading over to the what used to be Ellsworth's principal economic area, High Street, but a few years ago they changed the road to force you to go the way we've just gone, and that caused the area that we just drove through to become much more developed. So what I'm going to do is drive down through the main part of Ellsworth, High Street, and go through the old downtown, which is Main Street, and end the video after that. Right now, we're waiting at yet another stoplight. There are a couple more here before we get through town. And as you can see, it's pretty bad right now. We're 100 yards from the stoplight and cars are backed up. So there is a good deal of traffic in Ellsworth today. It is noon right now, and that may account for it. Okay, if we ever get moving. You know, we had somebody who was waiting to merge, and someone else, which is slowing traffic down in this lane, and we've missed another light. At any rate, while we're here, off to the right, you can see there's a little urgent care place. That's new. I don't remember what it was before. There's the supermarket that I'm heading to, but I'm going to go there on the way back out. And we've got a couple of hotels. There's one on either side, and a drugstore or two. And as we continue up here, we will pass the LL Bean outlet store, which has a collection of stuff from that basically is kind of rejects from other LL Bean stores, and I think I know why this is taking so long. They're doing something on the road up here, and everybody is being forced to merge over, even if there is no place to merge to. So hopefully somebody will let me in. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but they're definitely blocking one lane of traffic. As we miss this light for the third time. It looks like they're just about done with whatever it was, so hopefully that will be the end of it. So as I said, over there is a grocery store. There used to be a movie theater in there. I don't know if it's still there. And there were a number of other stores, but this sort of shopping area has undergone a fair amount of change over the years as various stores have come and gone. There is much more business here in the summer, because this is pretty much a route that the vast majority of the tourists heading to Mount Desert Island have to drive through. So it's can be pretty busy here in the summer with lots and lots of traffic. And a lot of these businesses cater to the summer tourist traffic. So we're just going to continue down this way for about a little over half a mile, and we'll make a left turn and go through the old downtown of Ellsworth on Main Street. And here's the other grocery store, Shaw's. There are two supermarkets here in Ellsworth, Shaw's and Hannaford. There's the LL Bean outlet store. As I started to say, you can get weird colored things there and oddball sizes that didn't sell in their regular stores, or maybe were returned. It's hard to say. And we'll just come up here, and there is another stoplight. I don't know if I can see it ahead. I don't know if you can. Well, we're going to turn left. Oh, $3.57 if you pay with your debit card, $3.67 if you pay with credit. So it's gas is definitely going down here in down east Maine. $3.64 cash and $3.69 credit there. And we're coming up to our turn. This is a turn to go onto Main Street. If you go left here, we're going to go into the old downtown for Ellsworth, which is about 3 blocks long. If we turn right, we would head up toward the hospital here in Ellsworth. And if we go straight ahead, we will head out of Ellsworth, and in about 20 minutes, we will be in the outskirts of Bangor. So we are kind of at a crossroads here. So we're going to make the left and go through the old downtown for Ellsworth, which isn't very big. It's a little bit bigger than downtown Southwest Harbor, but not much. But this is far from the main commercial area in Ellsworth. As you can see, it's kind of a nice old downtown area, and but it does change quite a bit from year to year, because a lot of the businesses here really cater to the tourist trade. So you never really know what you're going to see as businesses come and go here in downtown Ellsworth. And after this stoplight, we will go across the Union River and be out of downtown Ellsworth. And it's right here. There's a little dam just upstream to the right, and that's it. This building here is Rooster Brother. It sells kitchenware, and it also has coffee roasting. They roast their own coffee there, and it's quite nice. A little bit pricey, but you can get some very fresh roasted coffee. Okay, so that is Ellsworth. If we continued to the right back there a little bit, we would have seen a little bit more of another sort of peripheral business district, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to turn around and head back to the supermarket. So that kind of wraps up my drive to Ellsworth, Maine today. I just have to wait until there's a gap in the traffic here. There, okay, the one car went by, and we'll continue downhill and back into Ellsworth, Maine. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what it's like to drive off Mount Desert Island here in early December 2022 as we head into downtown Ellsworth, Maine again. And I'll just say thank you for watching.